You are watching the New Day Christian Television.
Hello, my name is Lady Apostle Diana Edu, and I'm going to read a short introduction to the second book of the Book of Psalms. As you may be aware, the Book of Psalms is divided into 5 parts: Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, Book 4, Book 5. We have already done the readings for Book 1, that is from Psalms 1 through 41. You will find it on our Christian Web Television, that is www.newdaychristiantv.org.uk, and this time we want to begin reading the second book of the Psalms, and that will be from Psalm 42 to 72. And I want to read a short introduction before we enter into the reading prayer part. This first part of my introduction was you can find it in the introductory part of the Book of Psalms of the Voice Bible. I took it because it's short and it's very summarized. So it says, the second book of Psalms, that is Psalm 42 to 72, has a few unique features. First, it is the only book of the 5 that contains psalms ascribed to the sons of Korah, a group of Levite singers. Second, it uses 2 rather obscure Hebrew terms in the superscription of almost half of these psalms. The first is maskil, which may be related to contemplation, and is translated as contemplative poem or song. You find it in Psalm 42, Psalm 44 to 45, Psalm 52 to 55, and miktam. Miktam means a prayer, but the meaning is unclear. It is Psalm 56 through Psalm 63. In referring to God, the second book shows a preference for the word God, that is Elohim, over the word eternal one, Yahweh, in the Hebrew scriptures. Throughout the Bible, the created covenant God is referred to in many ways. Generally speaking, the names of the titles used indicate something of his character and nature. The title God implies his unique majesty and power. No one is like him. The name translated Eternal One, and also the Eternal, is God's covenant name revealed uniquely to Israel. As the translation suggests, the divine name implies that the one true God transcends time, and yet he is with his people. I'm going to give you a brief background again from a general review that I have made. So Psalm 42, as I said, begins with the second book or subdivision of the Book of Psalms, a collection of 31 chapters, which ends with Psalms 72. Bible scholars think that Book 2 was compiled primarily during the reign of Solomon, King Solomon. That is from 970 BC to 931 BC, and possibly was added to the official worship collection during the reign of King Hezekiah and King Josiah. It is assumed that David wrote the vast majority of the Book of Psalms, especially in Book 1, and 18 in this section, Book 2, are credited to him. 1 is attributed to Solomon, and the remaining psalm in this group are credited to the sons of Korah, who, as I said in the beginning, were temple musicians and assistants. The psalms were used in the temple and temple services. In some cases, portions of the titles relate to how they were presented musically. For example, the word Shoshanim, a word that literally means lilies, which appears in the titles of Psalms 45, Psalm 60, Psalm 69, may have referred to a specific melody, to a lily-shaped straight trumpet, or to a six-string instrument typically used to accompany the song. The word Alamoth, this is the part that I like, in the superscription of Psalm 46 can be translated as young woman, and probably indicates that the psalm was to be sung by a high-pitched voice or played upon a high-pitched instrument. Another research I did suggest that the psalms was written by a woman, a girl, or was to be sung by female singers. Psalm 55 is designated as a maskil, meaning an instructional song to be played by the Neginoth or stringed instruments. With Jewish tradition correlating the 5 sections of the book of Psalms to the first 5 books of the Bible, this grouping is called the Exodus section. Just as Exodus describes the bondage and deliverance of Israel, many of these psalms describe the nation as ruined and then calling out to God for deliverance. Psalm 42 sets the scene by crying out for God's deliverance in a dry wilderness experience. Many of the following psalms relate how God is able to rescue his people.
You are watching the New Day Christian Television.
The Book of Psalms, Tehillim. Book 2, Psalms 42. To the chief musician, a contemplation of the sons of Korah. As the deer pants for the water brook, so my soul for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my food day and night, whilst they continually say to me, where is your God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul within me, for I used to go with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God, with a voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept a pilgrim feast. Why are you downcast, O my soul? Why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him with the help of his countenance. O my God, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore I will remember you from the land of Jordan and from the heights of Hermon. From the hill Mizar, deep call unto deep at the noise of your waterfalls. In all your waves and billows have gone over me. The Lord will command his love and kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, a prayer to the God my life. I will say to the rock, I will say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with the breaking of my bones, my enemies reproach me, while they say to me all day long, where is your God? Why are you downcast, O my soul? Why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of my countenance and my God. Psalms 43. Vindicate me, O God, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. Oh, deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. For you are the God of my strength. Why do you cast me off? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? Oh, send out your light and your truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me to your holy hill and to your tabernacle. Then I will go to the altar of God, to God my exceeding joy. And on the harp I will praise you, O God, my God. Why are you downcast, O my soul, and why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him, the help of my countenance and my God. Psalms 44. To this chief musician, a contemplation of the sons of Korah. We've heard with our ears, O God. Our fathers have told us the deeds you did in the days of old. You drove out the nations with your hand, but them you planted. You afflicted the people and cast them out, for they did not gain possession of the land by their own sword, nor did their own arm save them, but it was your right hand, your arm, and the light of your countenance, because you favored them. You are my King, O God. Command victories for Jacob. Through you we will push down our enemies. Through your name we will trample those who rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, nor shall my sword save me. But you have saved us from our enemies and have put to shame those who hated us. In God we boast all day long and praise your name forever. Selah. But you have cast us off and put us to shame, and you do not go out with our armies. You make us turn back from the enemy, and those who hate us have taken spoil for themselves. You've given us up like sheep intended for food, and have scattered us among the nations. You sell your people for next to nothing, and are not enriched by selling them. You make us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to those all around us. You make us a byword among the nations, a shaking of the head among the people. My dishonor is continually before me, and the shame of my face have covered me, because of the voice of him who reproaches and reviles, because of the enemy and the avenger. All this has come upon us, but we have not forgotten you, nor have we dealt falsely with your covenant. Our heart has not turned back, nor have our steps departed from your way, but you've severely broken us in the place of jackals and covered us with the shadow of death. If we'd forgotten the name of a God, or stretched out our hands to a foreign God, would not God search us out? For he knows the secret of the heart. Yet for your sake we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Awake, why do you sleep, O Lord? Arise, do not cast us off forever. Why do you hide your face and forget our affliction and our oppressions? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our body cling to the ground. Arise for our help and redeem us for your mercy's sake. Psalms 45. To the chief musician set to the lilies, a contemplation of the sons of Korah, a song of love. My heart is overflowing with a good theme. I recite my composition concerning the king. My tongue is a pen of a ready writer. You are fairer than the sons of men. Grace is poured upon your lips. Therefore God has blessed you forever. Gird your sword upon your thigh, O mighty one, with your glory and your majesty. And in your majesty ride prosperously because of truth, humility, and righteousness. And your right hand shall teach you awesome things. Your arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies. The people fall under you. Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness and more than your companions. All your garments are scented with myrrh and aloes and cassia, out of the ivory palaces by which they have made you glad. King's daughters are among your honorable women. At your right hand stands the queen in gold from Ophir. Listen, O daughter, consider and incline your ear. Forget your people, your own people also, and your father's house. So the king would greatly desire your beauty, because he is your Lord. Worship him, and the daughter of Tyre will come with a gift, the rich among the people who seek your favor. The royal daughter is all glorious within the palace. Her clothing is woven with gold. She shall be brought to the king in robes of many colors. The virgins and companions will follow her. Who follow her shall be brought to you with gladness and rejoicing. They shall enter the king's palace. Instead of your fathers shall be your sons, whom you shall make princes in all the earth. I'll make your name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore, the people shall praise you forever and ever. Psalms 46. God is our refuge and strength, a present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth be moved, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though its waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with its swelling. Selah. There is a river whose stream shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God shall help her just at the break of dawn. The nations raged, the kingdoms were moved, he uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us, the God